Hello guys, gals and gamers, and welcome back to another video. Before we begin, again, I would like to remind you guys to please like and subscribe. Also comment down below. I want to start a discussion with my videos. And if you want to be extra nice, share this video with everyone you have ever known. Also, there will be videos like every Monday, so stay tuned for those. I'm just gonna be talking about video games and sharing some cool ideas like I always do. And this week we are talking about Nintendo Switch and the console that comes after Nintendo Switch. Recently, Nintendo held their quarterly financial reports. Yes, very exciting. Don't click off just yet. One of the most important things that they revealed that they are indeed working on a new console, which of course makes sense. Of course they are doing that. Everyone is doing that. Microsoft is already working on a new console, so is Sony. The it takes time to figure out what to do with your next console, so you will begin as soon as one releases. So it makes sense, but it's nice to get confirmation on this. And yeah, don't get worried. The Switch still has many years in its life cycle left. So if you are wondering if you should get a Switch for this Christmas, go ahead. It's a great system with a lot of cool games. But I just like to, think about what will happen next. Let's speculate a bit on what will happen like in 3 years when we are hearing about a new console. I have 5 ideas for you guys. We will start off with the least exciting, hooray, and number one is a streaming box. This is basically your Stadia, your xCloud, basically a normal Switch, but instead of the tablet being a controller, there would be no tablet. Your controller would be your phone, and the actual console would be the dock. It would just stream all of the games to your whatever screen you use, mobile phone, tablet, computer, TV screen, whatever. It would just put the game in there, and you could use like Joy-Cons with like Bluetooth connection. So it would be that kind of simple thing. Of course, you would be able to play like on the go, but it would require a internet connection. So that would not be the most ideal thing. And it seems cool as an idea, but it has not been done well yet. Maybe Nintendo could, but I don't see like the mainstream audiences being really interested in this. And even the hardcore gaming crowd is not so fond of cloud gaming at the moment because internet connections need to be really good for games. And at the moment, not all places have that. So, yeah, it's not really that good. I also wanted to think about names for this console. Nintendo Free, because you can use anything and play anywhere. Maybe that. Nintendo Go. I have been playing too much Pokemon Go. Yes, why do you ask? And Nintendo Switch U, because this sounds like a disaster, but not the first time for Nintendo. Anyway, next console idea, number whatever it was, the next one. Number four, yeah, or number two. I don't. Did I begin with one or five? I don't know. The next one. Yeah, it's just the next idea is just having a Switch with more power. That's it. That's the whole gimmick. The gimmick is that there is no gimmick. Which you might think, hey, of course there has to be a gimmick. It's a Nintendo console. Is it? What was the gimmick on N64 or GameCube? Was it that N64 has a controller made for people with 3 hands, or that GameCube has a handle? Those were not really gimmicks. And the whole gimmick thing was because of Satoru Iwata, the previous CEO and president of Nintendo. I have actually been reading a book lately, and not just playing a game. It's wonderful, called Ask Iwata, and just in like the first few chapters, you hear about Iwata's philosophy when it comes to these kind of reveals that he wants to surprise people in a good way. they would be very shocked in the beginning, like, what's that? But when they go on and try it, they're like, hey, this is actually really cool. So that was his idea. But now, unfortunately, Satoru Iwata is no longer with us, and we have Shuntaro Furukawa, who seems to be a bit more conservative, play it safe, and relies on the power of the IP, the intellectual properties that Nintendo has, to make the impact. And with him, I could very well see the next console being just a regular console. Well, being the Switch, but better. The other people, Sony, Microsoft, you know those guys, they just always put out a more powerful console. They don't really try any huge, big gimmicks. So maybe they could do that. But what would be in this more powerful Switch? A 4K capabilities, maybe? Better screen, small visual differences to really sell to the, mainstream audience. Hey, this is something new. Uh, Maybe add like new features like camera and proper internet. Also, new, better Joy-Cons, make them more ergonomic. And one of my favorite patterns that Nintendo, I think, has is having a scroll wheel on your controller. Yeah, exactly. The scroll wheel that you have on your mouse when you are on your computer. That would replace like the L and R button, so you could scroll it and click on it. It would be really cool to see. I wish that happens in the future at some point, because it would be a really cool idea for a button in a controller. So I wish that happens. And then also maybe a sleeker dock would be nice. They already made it a bit sleeker with the OLED version, but still it's a very plasticky, very bulky dock. So I would like to see it look a bit more cooler. I don't like, especially like the normal dock for the Switch. I don't like how it looks. And the name could be something like Nintendo Switch 2. They have to be really careful with this one so people will know that it is a new console, not just a variation of the Switch, a new console. Maybe something like Super Nintendo Switch would also work, but I still think that Nintendo Switch 2 would be the best. Okay, number 3. The middle one. I remember this number because there's no other options. Uh, okay, next one is one of the most requested ideas we have had, aside from just a more powerful Switch. And this is having more VR and AR capabilities on your Nintendo Switch. And Nintendo has already played with both of these in Labo VR and the 3DS AR games, so they know the technology somewhat already. Joy-Con could work for either like hand, you could use them as the controller, or you could strap them to your leg, like in Ring Fit Adventure when you move around. That would be really cool. I was also thinking it would be cool if the leg Joy-Cons could track your steps even while you are not playing your Switch. So you could get some cool exercise games like Pikmin Bloom, or, by the way, a video on Pikmin Bloom there, or just like Ring Fit Adventure 2, where you could exercise outside of the game and the Joy-Con would like keep track of your progress that way. It would be really cool. Anyways, VR is a bit of a mixed bag, in my opinion. It has still not hit like the mainstream heights that it could have. And I'm not really sure if Nintendo really wants to invest in it just yet. Maybe wait a bit. It has to be cheaper. VR still is very expensive. It has to be powerful. If it's not good enough, like the frame rates, people will get dizzy and complain. And another question, another negative is like, would people really use it? Because would they just use the main console, like regular games on it? Because VR, again, it's not that intriguing to the mainstream audience. They want easy experiences. Just get a game, open the console up, play. That's it. They want simple and cool experiences like that. So I'm a bit unsure, and it would be kind of expensive, but that will be a trend going on, but we'll see. Hopefully they will figure out a way to make it cheaper in a few years. We still got a few years before any consoles will come out ever. So yeah. Names, I was thinking Nintendo Step because of the Leg Joy-Con idea I had, and something like Nintendo Verse, step into the new era of gaming in Nintendo Verse, where you could use VR and AR, maybe even mixed reality stuff in your new Switch. Would be cool, we'll see, probably will not happen. Next idea, this is the second last one, is having a bending screen. And this is inspired by new stuff happening in the mobile phone area. Samsung recently revealed and released the Samsung kind of flip phone that has a touchscreen that is bendable, which is really cool in my opinion. The technology is of course new and still expensive, but again, we have a few years. And if you're thinking how would that work in practice, well, you could obviously have the Joy-Cons like this, or you could also have them on the side, like this, kinda. Just one console, but just one Joy-Con, but you get it, you get the idea. It would be really cool, and then it would be like bendable right here in the middle. Would be really cool to see. And then you could also kind of do like two screen setup with like DS Virtual Console, when the screen could just flip like that. It would be really cool to see. And the tagline or something would be for this game console would be like home for all games from NES to 3DS. Great, just ignore the Wii U, okay? And it could hopefully run like AAA to mobile, so it would really be a home for everything. And my name idea for this, Nintendo Flip. Same name as the Samsung Flip phone, but I just love it. And all of the headlines when this console would get announced would be like, Nintendo flips the Switch, reveals new console. Oh, and it would be unfunny, but everyone would make the same joke. So I would love it. Okay, last idea. Forget the numbers. Last idea. And this is also inspired by phones. It was one of the first Google phones. Maybe Google Pixel one. I don't remember Google phone names. But also the PC scene. So what this idea is basically building your own console in a way. Not fully, but you could like buy additional features for your console, and they would be like cartridges that you would add, and then you would get like better battery or better graphics or maybe a camera or a microphone for your Switch. But if you don't want any of those, the regular new console would work just fine for the regular audiences who might not care about that. They just want simple games. And that's kind of why the Google phone that I mentioned, it was not a financial success. It was way too confusing for people. So this idea definitely needs to be like simplified. So I was thinking like maybe just have like two slots, and they could be anything. They could be like a cartridge slot. You could still get games digitally otherwise. Then if you want a better battery, you get a battery pack. If you want a microphone, you get a microphone pack. If you want more memory, then you will have to get an SD card, because that's how it works. But yeah, it's basically buying packs to enhance your play. And I would imagine these cartridges that you would put in your Switch would be like GBA sized, not too big, but they can't be like SD card size either. And maybe having also new controllers. You could mix and match cool Joy-Cons, maybe half GameCube controllers, that kind of stuff. Everyone was making those concepts arts when the Switch came out of new cool controllers Nintendo could have, but they just made Joy-Cons and the Pro controller. But that doesn't, you cannot attach that one to the Switch, unfortunately. Names, I have absolutely no idea. Nintendo Build, Nintendo Power Switch, Nintendo is cool. I don't know. I don't know. Nintendo Pack. Stupid name, but oh well. But yeah, those are all of my ideas for this video. Hope you enjoyed watching this. What do you think? Do you have any ideas what the next Nintendo console should be like? Did you like the lighting in this video? It's like the other side is blue, other side is red. Comment down below everything. I am really excited to know what you guys think. And if you have nothing to say, just say something nice to me or anyone else who could be watching this video. Thank you for watching, check out my other videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.